Good morning, everyone. Hearty welcome to the language class. So, today we'll be moving on with a very new poem which has been prescribed for this academic year. That is lesson number 9, a poem by Olga, the Farmer's Wife. So, this is one of the best poems contributed by Olga, a very celebrated poet of the modern English literature. Coming on to looking at this very context of the poem, so this is exactly a poem which could also be identified as a feministic based poem. This is one of the wonderful feministic poem contributed by Olga. What is this Olga? It's a pen name that has been given or that has been contributed to a very celebrated poet, P. Lalita Kumari. So this poetry, it emphasizes and speaks about, as the title itself signifies, this poetry emphasizes about the feministic thought, the feministic ideology, like how especially women pro-based ideologies move on with. Olga is the pen name of the well-known Telugu writer P. Lalita Kumari. Her works reflect a very well-articulated feministic positions within the very context. As we have an introduction, please turn over page number 85. We have an introduction about notes on the author. Olga is the pen name of well-known Telugu writer P. Lalita Kumari, 1950. She was born in a place called Gunturu, one of the big towns and educational centers in the state of Andhra Pradesh. Her stories, novels, and poetry reflect well articulated feministic positions without compromising either of the quality of literary form or failing to represent the reality of the characters. So, in her poetry, metaphor not only facilitates a form but also celebrates the ideas that has been depicted. So, this is very brief introduction about a very celebrated poet, writer, that is Olga. As I said, Olga is the pen name of a celebrated writer, P. Lalita Kumari. Her works have been well articulated based on feministic positions. What do you mean by feminism at the beginning? If you make an attempt to have a look into feminism, it is something, an ideology or a concept which is woman pro. ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಗಂಡು ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನ ಅವರಿಂದ ಏನೇನ್ ಕಷ್ಟ ಅನುಭವಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅದನ್ನ so one or the other way where we make a channel to express all the oppressions and suppressions that female cult has been faced through male, that has been accepted as feminism or feministic ideology. So almost all the poems what Olga has contributed, that comes under the feministic positions. It emphasizes what all the problems that women have been facing all these days. Since many days, like how women do get suffered, another, that's what they speak about. Women pro ideology is called as feministic or feminism based poetry. So this is one such poem. As the title itself signifies, the farmer's wife. We are not emphasizing or we are not speaking about the farmer who obviously contributes lots to us. Instead, either way of looking at the farmer, we are making an attempt to obviously well understand the feelings and emotions of the farmer's wife who had now become a widow. So this is exactly a feministic based poem, that is the farmer's wife, a very celebrated poem, a very simple but still bubbly poem contributed by a very well known writer or a poet, none other than Olga. As I said, Olga, it is the pen name. Coming on to, if you make an attempt to look at the very context of the poem, this is an issue of utmost importance. You all might have looked into the very context, the quoting. If you make an attempt to have a look into the present situation or a scenario, India has been witnessed an alarming number of farmer suicides in the very last decades, owing to the loss of crops or mounting debts. Many a times we have heard that as they were unable to fulfill the debts, as they were unable to clear the debts, like how they committed suicide. We have keep been very sure about. We have been hearing about all the news in day to day life. So, despite all the attempts from the very government, either of the state or of the central government, this trend continues to be unabated. So, there are several factors which has been included, like maybe social, might be economical, might be emotional, might be cultural. So, keeping all these aspects, social, economical, psychological, emotional, or cultural challenges, like how these farmers have been suffered, or else how these farmers are getting suffered in their day-to-day life, has been well expressed here within a very, very heartwarming, very heart-touching poetry, The Farmer's Wife. I made use of a adjective, what you call as heart-touching and heart-rending. Heart-rending is something that you can obviously well coin it as ಮನಸ್ಸನ್ನ ಕಲಕುವಂತಹ ಅಂತ ಏನ್ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. It's a wonderful adjective that could be used. You turn up with tears once you are able to read this poem. It's a very, very heart-touching poetry contributed by a very celebrated poet, Olga. This is also something here. The poet Olga has clearly reflected the aftermath of the farmer's suicide in this very poem, The Farmer's Wife. This poem is written in the form of an address by the farmer's wife to him. It is not, as I already spoke about it, this is not exactly the poem where the poet is emphasizing to reflect the feelings and emotions of the farmer. Instead, she's making an attempt to reflect the feelings and emotions of the farmer's wife. So we are looking at the things, that's the issues that are happening, as I already spoke about it. So in this context, what could be the pros and cons once the farmer meet with a suicide? So what could be the emotional uh, dilemma, or what could be the emotional mindset? How the woman who had been married to a farmer, now the one who had committed suicide, so once he gets suicide, how could be her mental condition? How she makes an attempt to face all the challenges of life has been well taken up here, well described here within a very context of the poem. That's a beautiful poetry, The Farmer's Wife. As I said, it's a woman pro poem. Woman pro poem is something that emphasizes the feelings and emotions of the woman, the one who have been either oppressed or suppressed, or the one who is meeting with lots of challenges in life because of men. So, how she makes an attempt to overcome, how, with all potential, she makes her mind to live instead of committing suicide, like of her husband, has been well taken up here within a wonderful poetry, which has been described well by a celebrated poet, Olga. This is also something, if you make an attempt to look into the very context, the first line begins. She makes an attempt to see wonderful narrative form has been taken up here within a simple, bubbly poem. It's in the form of a narration, in the form like you can look into where there's a direct uh, conversation. It seems to be like a conversation mode where the farmer's wife, the one who has become a widow now, she makes an attempt to address to the dead husband who had committed suicide. Why the farmer had committed suicide? As he was unable to clear the debts that he had taken. ಸಾಲ ತಗೊಂಡಿರೋದನ್ನ ತೀರ್ಸಕ್ಕಾಗ್ತಲೇ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಕ್ರಾಪ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಫೇಲ್ಯೂರ್ ಆಗಿ, as he thought that he could not obviously clear the debts, what is the strand that the farmer has taken? He has stepped into committing suicide. So there is a dead body of the farmer, and in front of the dead body, looking at the dead body of her beloved husband, the farmer's wife, she makes an attempt to beautifully, it seems to be like a conversative statement where she makes an attempt to address to the dead husband, where the body of the husband has been lying in front of her. This is one aspect. And there's also a wonderful message. There is a moral value which has been taught at the very, very end, the climax of the poetry. She makes an attempt to make her children not to be like covered like a father. Instead of that, learn to live with all potential and know a life message. Uh, the author, the poet, is making an attempt to reflect through the voice of the widow of a farmer has been well taken up here. As I said, if you make an attempt to look at the very initial statement or the beginning line, the first line, it opens very sarcastically. There's an opening which goes with a very sarcastic note referring to the dead farmer as virtuous. She uses a first line begins with stating, "You are virtuous and you are gone." So, whom does the word you pronoun refers to? As I said, the pronoun has been referred to the dead husband. She is standing in front of, there's a beautiful pictorial representation within your textbook you can have a look into. So she's standing in front of the dead husband and she's making an attempt to address, you seem to be so virtuous. ಇಷ್ಟು ಮಾನ ಮರ್ಯಾದೆ ಹೆದರ್ಕೋತೀಯ, you're so virtuous and you are gone. As you were so virtuous, ಮಾನ ಮರ್ಯಾದೆ ಹೆದರ್ಕೋತಿದ್ದ ಆದ್ರಿಂದ, what is the stand that you have taken? You are gone. You did not care for anything. You did not even think of your family. Leave me. You did not even think of the children who are just there. You left everyone without caring for anything. You sounded to be virtuous. See, while using a term virtuous, here, the poet is emphasizing, or the widow is emphasizing, that what exactly is the term virtuous that reflects? How can you make an attempt to which perception it should be analyzed or assessed another? That's a very sarcastical usage she makes use of. Oh, you are so virtuous. Ah, you are too virtuous, and we too virtuous. Andrenu. There is a sarcastic tone. In the earlier classes, I've already used this term. Sarcasm is nothing but mocking at others. ಆಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ನೇರವಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕಾಗ್ದಲ್ಲ ಇರೋದನ್ನ obviously we make use of this sarcasm when we want to poke at certain things and we want to obviously speak about it. At that very context we usually make use of a context what we call sarcasm ಅಂತ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಗಮನಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತೇವೆ. In this context she's emphasizing that she wants to make it so clear, stating that how things goes on, how you people have been misused, how we people have been misused. Before committing suicide, why did you not make an attempt to think about us? So that's what here she is making an attempt to beautifully reflect around. And this is also, as I said, the first line of the poem. It moves on with a very sarcastic note referring to the dead farmer as virtuous. She calls her dead husband as virtuous in a very mocking, in a very sarcastic manner. And continuing with further, the poet uses a series of contrasts through the speaker's words. You can have a look into lot many sequence of series of words that has been coined here. The poet uses a very series of the contrast through the speaker's words, as well as the farmer's widow says that he remained to be virtuous. How did he remain virtuous? By ending his own life, whereas she remains to be a sinner in the eyes of an orthodox society. You committed suicide, you sounded to be virtuous, whereas you have taken lot many debts, and now I'm seeming to be a sinner in front of all the people with whom you have taken debts. And although that's a wonderful sarcastic tone she makes an attempt to use in the very context of this poetry. Here you have to understand the very basis of this. The man has been escaped from the creditors as well as the society. Every time, every each and every time, there was a very crop failure. He had to bend his head with a very, very hand stretch before his creditors, or he could sell his crops if he had any. But now he crossed over all these options, and without caring for anything, she makes an attempt to rhetorically question him, asking, why did you commit suicide? Were you not aware that you have taken debts and you have to clear it? Crops ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ಟೆಂಪರರಿ ಕ್ರಾಪ್ ಫೇಲ್ಯೂರ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ಟೆಂಪರರಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್. ಇವತ್ತು ಕ್ರಾಪ್ ಫೇಲ್ ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು, ಆದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ ದಿ ಅಪ್ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಡೇಸ್ ವಿ ವುಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಮೆಟ್ ವಿತ್ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್. ವಿ ವುಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟೇಕನ್ ಅಪ್ ಡಬಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕ್ರಾಪ್ಸ್, ಡಬಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಟೇಕನ್ ಅಪ್. ವೈ ಡಿಡ್ ಯು ಲೂಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ಪೊಟೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು, that's a very rhetorical question where she uses here within a very context of the poem, and she speaks out, she makes an attempt to obviously ask the dead husband to give reply for the questions, what all the things that she is posing here within a very, very context of the poem. That's the farmer's wife. Though the poetry begins with addressing the husband for his very, very desperate act, it continues on the, as I said, it continues on a very feministic background. So there is a support. It is purely, it is genuinely woman pro poem. Woman pro is called as ಫೆಮಿನಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಆರ್ ಫೆಮಿನಿಸಮ್ ಅಂತೀವಿ. ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಹೇಳುವಂತದ್ದನ್ನ ಫೆಮಿನಿಸಮ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ there is a great support that you can make an attempt to observe here within a wonderful poetry. It is based on feministic ground. The speaker presents a very contrasting picture. Contrast is uh, dark with light shade. Two extremities compared or taken up together, that can be coined out as contrast. So in this very context, in this very context of the poem, the speaker presents a very, very outstanding contrasting picture wherein she was born as a girl child with her dead bent, with her head bent, as well as the hand which has always been outstretched, because as we all know, the society is male centric society, which wouldn't welcome the birth of girl child. Even in the many places, if the parents meet with a birth of a child, of girl child, that does not accept it. So we all know how the society is tackling with this situation. Women as well as men have been treated two different aspects. Women have always been given less importance, where men have been always given higher importance. So this boy child and girl child has always been compared, where girl child has always been neglected because she is always considered to be like a product. Woman is always considered to be like the one who always begs in front of others, because as I said, the society is male centric society. Men have been obviously exemplified. So, keeping that as a very traditional orthodoxical mindset, how even at these days women have been suffered a lot. We all know it very well. If you make an attempt to very basically analyze between men and women, men are always dependent on women. So, women is both physically, men might be physically strong compared to women, but women are mentally, emotionally, psychologically, they are much more stronger than men. So, even though women have all the capacity where she could glow herself, she could stand almost equal or beyond men, she could stand and reflect her potential, but still, this men centric society will not allow women to grow. ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂಚೂರು ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ they just make an attempt to hinder, caring only for the concept what we call as purity. So these days we are looking at lot many issues, comparisons, contrastive studies that's taking place between birth of a girl child as well as boy child too. So this context of the poem, it emphasizes about how the male centric society wouldn't welcome the birth of a girl child has been also well exemplified, because as per the state of mind of a society, orthodoxical society, we people have a notion that women have been born just to stretch her hands in front of others. She cannot stand independently. She cannot obviously get go with the things. So women should always be under men ಅನ್ನೋ ಈ mindset ಏನಿದೆ. So in this context of the poem, this is what we call as women pro poetry ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, or feministic poem ಅಂತೀವಲ್ಲ. See, this thought has been well taken up here, where women has been bought only to barrel children, few children, and take care of the family, feed everyone, look at the husband, look at the children. No, your life is done. So how women can also make an attempt to overcome such very disastrous feeling has been well described here within a wonderful poem, that's The Farmer's Wife. In this very context of the poem, the speaker questions not only her husband, but the system has been questioned by the widow. The system has been questioned by the farmer's wife, which does not approve of a woman, especially a widow, facing society independently. How widows face lots of challenges in life in this very male centric society. How could be the feel? How could be the emotional ups and downs that the woman overcome? How she makes an attempt to overcome everything and face the challenges of life had been well reflected here within a very simple, bubbly poem, The Farmer's Wife. So, in this context, as I said, the speaker questions not only her husband, where she stands as a representative and she's making an attempt to pose question to the whole system or society, which does not usually approve of a woman, especially emphasizing double note, double underline, especially a widow facing society independently. She makes an attempt to ask her husband how he could do that, knowing very well that in his absence, the dependent, so-called the dependent family, would be put to suffer unbearable consequences. She's making an attempt to pose a question to her dead husband. It does not mean that she is the only one who is expecting or who is only posing question to the dead husband. Instead, she stands as a representative. She stands as a voice of the woman and she poses a question. Oh men, why don't you think before committing suicide, why you people don't think about the family which is genuinely dependent on you? Why you people have not thought of the family which cares you so much? That's a wonderful question, where she is standing as a voice and just posing a question to all the one who just hangs on, who clings on such path. So she's emphasizing that she asks her husband how could he do that, knowing very well that in his absence, the dependent family would be put into lots of suffering, all facing the unbearable so-called consequences. She says that the cotton crop, which has been taken up as a reference here within a wonderful poem, She says, the cotton crop is just yesterday's. ನೆನ್ನೆನೂ ಅದೇ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇತ್ತು, ಇವತ್ತು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇದೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. The cotton crop is just but yesterday's, but their family has to live long. Family ಅನ್ನೋದು it's something where the life of journey goes for long journey, where it goes for long way. Why did you not to think about your family, where we have to be together, we have to move together, we have to go together? It's only for the failure of a cotton crop you committed suicide. How can you do this? That's so wonderful. See, a mixture, a collaboration of all feelings and emotions. Might be the cry, might be the sorrow, might be the angerness. All these extremities of emotions have been well connected here within a one simple poetry. That's the farmer's wife. She says that the cotton crop is but yesterday's, but their family has to live longer. She also says that even she had the testing times, she has faced lot many testing times, but still she would never think of such an extreme step of committing suicide. Oh man, oh my dear husband, why did you not think about it? Why didn't you think about the family where we have been so dependent on you? Why did not you think about the children whom you have given birth? Why didn't you think about it? So cotton crop problem might be just yesterday's or today's, but one fine day we would have cooped ourselves and we would have been lived happily. Why did you commit such a? Why did you make an attempt to commit or go on to such a very extreme stand, Anudu? That's a very question where she is emphasizing on. She also says that even she had the testing sign times. She has also made an attempt to face lot many testing time, many a times, but still she did not opt to take up such extreme step of committing suicide. But I did not make so. I'm a woman. I'm so helpless as per the society considers. I always depend on you for each and every aspect. I'm not physically strong like you. I may not be economically strong like you. I may not be as per your perception. I might not be socially strong. Even though I had lots of loss, I did not commit suicide. I faced everything with all the challenges. I took it. I consider all the hurdles or problems, whatever that I faced in my life as a challenge, and I faced it. Why did you commit such a thing? Why did you took up such an extreme step? That's a wonderful question she's posing to a dead farmer. Though he had abused many a times, look at the way she speaks about. She emphasizes and says that many a times you abused me like anything. Whenever you drank and came, you just kicked me off from the house. You just slapped me many a times. You have hurt me emotionally. You have many a times hurt me physically. You have abused me with a very bad words. Many a time I faced lot many things. ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಸಲ ನನಗೂ ಪ್ರಾಣ ಕಳ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನಿಸ್ತು, ಬಟ್ ಐ ಡಿ ನಾಟ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಸಚ್ ಅ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್. ಆದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಐ ಡಿ ನಾಟ್ ಕೇರ್. ಐ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಥಾಟ್ ದಟ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಮೈ ಮ್ಯಾನ್. ನೀನೇನೇ ಬೈದ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಯು ಆರ್ ಮೈ ಮ್ಯಾನ್. ಐ ಥಾಟ್ ದಟ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ. Why didn't you think so before committing suicide? See, look at the way she's just giving a note on a very, it's a very punching line where she emotionally, she's tackling the dead husband and she's making an attempt to list out the flaws of uh, the farmer who had committed suicide. Though he had abused her many a times, reviled her several times, she thought that it was all right for a man to do that. ಗಂಡಸ್ರಾಗಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅದನ್ನ we have to accept it ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡೆ ಸುಮ್ನಾದೆ. I never thought of committing suicide. I never thought of stepping on to such extreme step. I did not do so. She thought that here she emphasizes that she thought it was all right of a man. Man can do anything and everything, but women cannot do it. I thought it. But she never thought about suicide ಅನ್ನೋದು. That's what she's emphasizing here within a very, very context. She also says that now that he has killed himself, her life has become so miserable without any crop, with unsettled debts. ಸಾಲ ಮಾಡಿರೋರೆಲ್ಲ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರ ಹತ್ರ ಸಾಲ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ವು ಎಲ್ಲ ಈಗ ಕಣ್ಮುಂದೆ ನಿಂತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ದೇ ಲುಕ್ ಅಟ್ ಮೀ ಲೈಕ್ ಅ ಸಿನ್ನರ್. ನಾನು ನಿನ್ನನ್ನು ಹಾಗೆ ನೀನ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಸೂಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡೆ, I would have also thought of committing suicide, but I am not taking that. I does not teach even my children to be like coward. You behaved like a coward. See, that's a very punching line where she emotionally tackles all a mixture of anger, sorrowness, depression. Everything has been taken up together with all that she says. In a very conclusion of this poetry, she beautifully clings on to a very optimistic thought. Optimism is looking at the very positive aspects of life. ಆಶಾದಾಯಿತ್ವ ಅಂತ ಏನ್ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಆಶಾ ಭಾವನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಏನೇ ಕೆಟ್ಟದ್ ನಡೆದ್ರು ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಒಂದು ಪಾಸಿಟಿವಿಟಿಯನ್ನು ಹುಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಒಳ್ಳೇದಕ್ಕಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಭಾವಿಸ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಆಸ್ ಆಪ್ಟಿಮಿಸಮ್. ದ ಪೋಯಟ್ರಿ ಎಂಡ್ಸ್ ವಿತ್ ಅ ವೆರಿ ಆಪ್ಟಿಮಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಥಾಟ್. ಐ ಡಸ್ ನಾಟ್ teach my children to be coward like you. Instead, I just teach them to overcome all. I don't ask them to clench their fist because of helplessness. I teach them to learn to live with all potential and positivity. Look at the way she is making an attempt to take up that very, very challenge of life. ಯಾರ ಮೇಲೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತನಕ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗಿದ್ನೋ ಆ ಗಂಡ ಈಗ ಸತ್ತು ಮುಂದೆ ಬಿದ್ದಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಅವ್ನ ಮುಂದೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾಳೆ, ಐ ಡಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಟೀಚ್ ಮೈ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್ ಟು ಗೋ ಹೆಡ್ ವಿತ್ ಸಚ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್. ನಾನ್ ಮನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಾನೂ ಕೂಡ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಸಮೇತ I would have committed suicide like you, but I'm not taking such strands where we could commit suicide, something like that. No, I don't support such strand. Now that he has killed himself, her life has already become so miserable without any crop, with all unsettled debts and the dignity. See, this is a wonderful word that has been coined here by a poet. She says that the dignity had been biting the dust. In addition to these woes, there are children who cannot obviously left out to the wind. Lots of imageries and symbolisms have been well taken up here within a very, very context of the poem. Lots of imageries and symbolisms. ನೇರವಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕಾಗ್ದಲೇ ಇರೋದನ್ನ ಇಂಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ರೆಫರ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರ ಮೂಲಕ ಹೇಳೋದನ್ನ we usually call it as imageries and symbolisms. She tackles with such imageries and symbolisms and she speaks about. The speaker is extremely annoyed with such mindset. There's a beautiful reflection. The poet makes an attempt to use her voice through the farmer's wife. She gets irritated. She is annoyed. Annoyed, and she is very much irritated. Showing a very small angry is what we call annoying. It is so annoying, irritating. Sanda kopa baratala. That's called as annoying. She seems to be so annoyed with this mindset. This mindset, andre the mindset what the farmer had taken up. Andre, accepting the very, very extreme step of life, accepting death, committing suicide. She hates it, and that she is very much annoyed with such strand that the farmer had taken up. She says that it just takes the moment to think extremity, but to face life, it needs a brave heart. What you did, it's all the work what a coward does. ಕವರ್ಡ್ಗಳು ಮಾತ್ರ ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಈ ತರ ಸೂಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತಾರೆ. The one who is loaded with brave heart, the one who is mounted with brave heart, they will never commit mistake. Instead, they'll take the life with lots of challenges ಅನ್ನೋದು. That's a wonderful message that a poet is making an attempt to reflect through within a wonderful poem. That's The Farmer's Wife. So it takes a minute. Positive and negative aspects of life, looking at or the perceptions of life, accepting the life ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, how we take up things matters a lot. ಎಲ್ಲ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರೋದನ್ನ ಹಾಳು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳಕ್ 2 ನಿಮಿಷ ಸಾಕು. ಆದ್ರೆ ಹಾಳಾಗಿರೋದನ್ನ ಮತ್ತೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ವೆರಿ ಲಾಂಗ್ ವೇ ಟು ಗೆಟ್ ಗೋ ವಿತ್. ಹಾಳು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು 2 ನಿಮಿಷದ ಕೆಲಸ, ಆದ್ರೆ ಆ ಜೀವನ ಉಳಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರೆ ವಿ ವುಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅಚೀವ್ಡ್ ಲಾಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು. ಇಟ್ ನೀಡ್ಸ್ ಅ ಸಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಬ್ರೇವ್ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು. That's a wonderful point that the poet is emphasizing here within a poem. The speaker gets very much extremely annoyed in the context of the mindset of a poet. She also says that just to spoil, it needs a couple of minutes. But if we want to weave our life with all happiness, there is a need of brave heart. She seems to be so determined to be one. I'm not like you. I'm not a coward like you. I'll be living this life and I'll face all the challenges of life in my upcoming life. I'll face all the things, whatever it comes. I'm a woman with brave heart, she says. She seems to be so determined. She seems to be so courageous in accepting the positivity of life. After all, she is going to teach her children how she seems to be, what exactly she seems to be that she's so determined enough with. After all, she says that she's going to teach her children to fight the odds and the lessons of life. Hard realities, harsh realities ಅಂತ ಏನೇನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. See, we have a wonderful proverb in English. Life is always not bed of roses ಅಂತೀವಿ. ಜೀವನ ನಾವ್ ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡ್ ಆಗಿರಲ್ಲ. See, this sorrows and joys ಅನ್ನೋದು, it's all the ups and downs of life. ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ಖುಷಿ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ದುಃಖದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ಖುಷಿ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸಲಿ ದುಃಖ. So it is a journey where it is two faces of the same coin. The life coin has two faces, both joys and sorrows. So whenever we meet with sorrows, we have to coop oneself with all positive thought, and we have to manage to live with all brave, courageous heart, which could obviously give, which could obviously bequeath, which could obviously fetch the happiness for the very, very future life. So that's what she is making an attempt to emphasize here. She says that she is going to teach the lessons of life to my children, facing all the odds of life. ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟೇ ಕಷ್ಟ ಬಂದರೂ ಕೂಡ ಹೇಡಿ ತರ ಸೂಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಲ್ಲ. We should learn to live. We should learn to face with all challenges. These challenges, these obstacles, these ups and downs of life will always give some sort of success, something which we could never have been expected. ಅನ್ನೋದು, that's the message where the poet is emphasizing on. She's making an attempt to reflect here within a wonderful poem, The Farmer's Wife. She also further says that in any case, they shall not outstretch their hands seeking compassion, but shall win the battles of life. Keeping my children, I will not sound to be demanding sympathy from the other people. I never want to get sympathetic words from others. Instead, I just want to accept and face the battle of life, because life itself is battle. She concludes this beautiful poetry with a beautiful message. She says that it is very hard to be lived. Death is not the solution for all the problems what we face. Death is not the solution for all the problems whatever we face, but it is just just an easy escape for the people like her husband who seems to be so covered. I never ever want to be an escapist. ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಸ್ಕೇಪಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಇಲ್ಲ. I want to live, I want to face and obviously accept the challenges of life, which is going to ultimately fetch me happiness. I never teach my children to be setting you as a role model. I never make my children to be cowards like you. Instead, I just fill them, I just imbibe them to get loaded with lots of courage. She says that, so she is determined to embrace life. However, the life could come, I'm always ready to accept it. I'm always ready to embrace my life, which could be an ultimate message. So, this is an overall summary of this context of the poem, which is making an attempt to speak which is making an attempt to emphasize about the plight of not a farmer, the plight of a widow of a farmer. Plight is nothing but suffering. Plight is nothing, flight alla, Flight alla. Plight. Plight is nothing but the pains and sufferings what the woman, what the widow of a farmer had faced in her life has been well emotionally tackled, well described here within a very, very wonderful context of the story, that is context of the poem, that is the farmer's wife. Coming on to looking at the very, very synopsis, the farmer's wife, this is a very important point to be emphasized on. This wonderful poem, The Farmer's Wife, it is about, you can well imagine, it's about the agony, the frustrations, what all the things that she met, and the challenges of women following the suicide of a farmer husband. So, when the husband commits suicide, what could be the challenges that she could face? What could be the frustrations that she had met? The agony, the psychological change, the emotional ups and downs, what all the things that she felt has been well described here within a very, very heart touching, heartwarming poetry, The Farmer's Wife. This poem, it is all about, it's also about the changing what we call so-called stereotype anta ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ. She wants to change the stereotype notion of mindset, how this male centric mindset have been established well within society. It should get changed ಅನ್ನೋದು, that's a wonderful message she's making an attempt to reflect through the poem. So in this very context, the poem, it is also speaking, this is also emphasizing about the changing of this so-called stereotype. A society that usually looks woman as a burden and disgrace, which has always been questioned. ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಳು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ disgracing. ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಳು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ it's something that where they are always less. They are always considered as a product. They are always considered as burden. 18 ವರ್ಷ ಆದ್ರೆ ಅಪ್ಪಂದ್ರಿಗೆ ಭಯ ಶುರುವಾಗತ್ತೆ, ಬೇಗ ಮದ್ವೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಕಳಿಸ್ಬೇಕು, I have to reduce the burden, ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿಗಳು. See, women have always been treated as a burden. Women have always been treated as disgraceful until these so-called orthodoxical traditional mindset what has been established in so-called metric male-centric society. Here she is emphasizing about women is also capable of doing all things. She can be very mentally strong compared to men ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ she's over exemplifying here within a wonderful poetry that is the farmer's wife. A society that always looks women as burden and disgrace has been well questioned through this poem. Male chauvinism is challenged by the poet. This is a wonderful point to be emphasized on. Male chauvinism is being male pro. So, well, what we also consider it as male centric ಅಂತೀವಲ್ಲ, ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಳಿಗಿನ್ನ ಗಂಡ್ ಮಕ್ಳು ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಮೇಲೆ, ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಳು ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಅಂತ. This different is called as male chauvinism, which has been challenged by the poet. Instead of men, women are so strong compared to men ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ, mentally they are very strong ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ she emphasizes through this very context of the poem, the farmer's wife. So that's what you can well coin it as like male chauvinism has been well questioned here. That's a point to be that has been challenged by a poet. She targets this long held view of patriarchy and its underlying liberties which have been attached together. However, she also declares her commitment to live her life with the harvest of her womb. This is a wonderful imagery. It's a wonderful, what we call this, a wonderful idiomatic expression. Hope you all might be familiar with idioms ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ನುಡಿಗಟ್ಟು ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ನೇರವಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕಾಗ್ದಲ್ಲಿರೋದನ್ನ ಹಿಡನ್ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ಸ್, ಒಳಾರ್ಥಗಳನ್ನ ಯಾವ್ದಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನ ವಿ ಯೂಶಲಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ನುಡಿಗಟ್ಟು ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. English we call it as idioms or idiomatic expression, which comes under one of the figure of speeches. Idiom andre ನುಡಿಗಟ್ಟು. Example, ಪೊಲೀಸರನ್ನು ಕಂಡ ಕಳ್ಳನು ಕಾಲ್ ಕಿತ್ತನು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಕಿತ್ತನು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅನ್ idiomatic expression. ಪೊಲೀಸ್ನ ನೋಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಕಳ್ಳ ಕಾಲ್ನ ಕಿತ್ತ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟ, ಡಿಸ್ಲೊಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ದ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ ಅಲ್ಲ. ವಾಟ್ ಡಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಮೀನ್? ಒನ್ಸ್ the thief was able to look at the police, he ran away. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಕಿತ್ತನು ಅಂದ್ರೇನು, ran away ಅಂತ. ಈ ತರ ಯಾವುದು ಒಳಾರ್ಥನ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರತ್ತೆ, ಒಳಾರ್ಥನ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕನೋಟೇಟಿವ್ ಹಿಡನ್ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನ ಯಾವ್ದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡತ್ತೆ, ಕಾಂಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಚುಯಲ್ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನ ಯಾವ್ದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡತ್ತೆ, usually call it as an idiom or an idiomatic expression. So one such idioms and imageries and symbolisms have been used here. Illi, while using this wonderful term, harvest of her womb andaga, it has been referred to the children which was gifted by her beloved husband. She emphasizes 3 children have been left out. How can I look at them? I was so dependent on you. I wouldn't have worked like you. I was so emotionally, socially, economically, psychologically had been connected. How did you leave me up? Why did not you think about me? That is a wonderful question she emphasizes about here within a wonderful context of the poem, that is the farmer's wife. And beyond everything, she also emphasizes and says that she seems to be so determined to face all the challenges of life. She owes to teach her children those values and skills of life which shall never let them think about the cowardly measure. Yaudana illi cowardly measure anta idale? She's emphasizing about the cowardly measure that was opted by her beloved husband. Avಳ ಗಂಡ ಯಾವ coward is ಹೇಡಿ ತರ. Once as he thinking that he could not clear all the debts that had been taken, ಇಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋ ಸಾಲ ತೀರ್ಸಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಏನ್ ಸೂಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕವರ್ಲಿ ಅಟೆಂಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ. I teach my children not to go ahead with it. She owes to teach her children those values and skills of life which will never let them to think about all such so-called suicide ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಅಥವಾ cowardly measures when faced with challenges. So if you have been brought up with lots of challenges, you can lead your life with all happiness. For temporary problem, we should not make an attempt to find permanent solution. Permanent solution ಅನ್ನ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿ ಕಂಡುಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಲ್ಲ. When the problem itself is so temporary, we would have obviously enhanced it in the upcoming days ಅನ್ನೋದು. That's a message where she's emphasizing on. She's making an attempt to beautifully will reflect here within a very, very context of this poem, The Farmer's Wife. As I said, it's a wonderful, it's a beautiful, heart-touching poetry which brings out the plight of a widow of a farmer who had committed suicide along with her will to struggle to face the challenges of life. This unit also aims to make aware of the problems of the Indian problems or Indian farmers who are exploited by many, many a times visible or invisible forces. Another very, very important point to be emphasized on this poetry, The Farmer's Wife, it also teaches the values of so-called what we call perseverance. Perseverance andre you can well understand. Sahaneya parakashtate. ಸಹಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳೋದರ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಮಿಟಿನ we call it as perseverance ಅಂತ. The whole poem makes an attempt to emphasize and teach the lessons, the values of life, especially so-called perseverance in between the odds and needs of self assertion. ನಾವು ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಬದುಕಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ we should learn to go with having so-called perseverance. ಸಹನೆ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಕೂಡ the result may be late, but it always gives success and a message. And how this lesson of perseverance has been well taken up here by the widow of a farmer has been well reflected here within a wonderful heart touching poem, that is The Farmer's Wife. Here the very important thing to be appreciated is widow's strength is well appreciated. How she took the challenges, how she faced all the challenges of life have been well explained here within a wonderful context of the poem, that is The Farmer's Wife by Olga. Her basic name, original name is P. Lalita Kumari. With all this introduction, we'll just have a look into the very context of the poem, The Farmer's Wife. We'll have a recitation in a very upcoming class. We can go with a wonderful description. We'll go with an explanation of this beautiful poem, The Farmer's Wife. Please have a look into your textbook. Turn over page number 82. The Farmer's Wife, a poem by Olga. You are virtuous and you are gone, poor sinner that I am remain by your creditors, unable to bend your head, unable to bend your head or stretch out your hand or sell your crops you crossed over. But I was born with a head bent, a hand outstretched, not unused of being sold. Knowing all this, did you leave me? You found release with poison, poisoning my bitter experience. You just, there's a wonderful description you can well imagine. This is a very punching line. You found release with a poison, she's emphasizing on. You found release with a poison, poisoning my bitter existence. The cotton crop is but yesterday's, but our family. The cotton crop is but yesterday's, but our family. How often have I drowned in it? How many times have I escaped death? Whether you abused or reviled me, kicked me when you were drunk. I always thought he is but a man. Little did I dream you would deal me with a death blow like this. With a death blow like this? That's a wonderful question he's emphasizing on. How did you make an attempt to get cool with such thing? How did you imagine that these things could happen along? She says, little did I dream you would deal me a death blow like this. How did you think that these things could happen? How did you imagine that these things could happen in my life? True. The crop was gone. The debt remained. Our dignity hit by the dust. Our hearts turned to water. But how did you imagine my back would bear the burden of 4 children? You saw your crop destroy. What of the harvest of my womb? Can I leave them to the wind like the worm eaten cotton pods? It takes a moment to die. But open your mouth and ask. Open your mouth and ask, what of this? Why is this? Needs a firm heart. Needs a firm heart to teach my children to clench a fist not merely for a handful of prize. But in the battle, I must live, I must embrace life, not death. Embrace life and the struggle for life. So this is a wonderful poetry translated by Vasanta Kannabiran from Telugu. It has been obviously translated to English, which is originally written in a Telugu with a title Chavuni Kadu Badukuni, not death but life. So with this very all introduction, we'll just make an attempt to go with a wonderful description, as I've already explained in a beginning couple of minutes ago at the beginning initial discussion. This is a wonderful poem where you can have a look into a first person conversation has been almost taken up. There is a usage where directly it has been addressed to the dead husband. See, there's a beautiful representation of a poetry which has been pictorially represented. You can have a look into, there's a dead body of a farmer where the farmer's wife with children, three children, she has been left out. Many of the others are crying at over. There are the one who have given the debts. She's imagining everything. You sounded to be so virtuous, making me a sinner. ನೀನೇನೋ ಡೆಪ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಸತ್ ಹೋದಾದ್ರೆ what could be my condition? Have you ever thought what could be my life in future? I seem to be a sinner in front of the creditors. ಯಾರ್ ಸಾಲ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು, they'll come and stand in front of me now and they'll ask me where I seem to be like a sinner. Wow, hats off to your virtuousness. And she sarcastically, she emphasizes and she makes an attempt to poke the very, very flaws of society. So, with all this introduction, we'll continue in the very next class about the very, very explanation of this wonderful, heart touching, heartwarming poem that is The Farmer's Wife by Olga, her original name P. Lalita Kumari. It's a feministic poem that's contributed by Olga. Done. Have a nice day. Thank you so much.